The Fanatec ClubSport DD Plus is probably one of the wheelbases with the most complicated start ever. Delayed license releases, technical difficulties in the manufacturer system on Black Friday, even more delays, and a resulting loss of confidence among many customers. But finally, there is some movement. Today we can finally show you not only our review of the 50Nm DD Plus wheelbase, which we have been testing for some time, but also the bundle with the brand new Gran Turismo Wheel for PlayStation 4 and 5. The whole thing is called Fanatec Gran Turismo DD Extreme and, according to the manufacturer, will be available to order and ready to ship from today in the US, EU and Australia. Let's see if Fanatec can overcome the difficulties with a convincing product, usher in a new era and take the Gran Turismo 7 experience to a new level. You are watching Overtake, I'm Michel, and the second Gran Turismo branded steering wheel by the 26-year-old German company, this time instead of aiming for the entry-level market, it's got its sights set much higher. Paired with the ClubSport DD Plus wheelbase, the new wheel is only available as a part of the Gran Turismo DD Extreme bundle, available for €1,299 or $95, plus shipping and tax. Keep in mind, for example, as a UK buyer, you will need to import from the EU, which will incur additional import taxes. Of course, the wheelbase is also available as a standalone product, compatible with PC, PS4, PS5, and even Xbox when an Xbox licensed wheel is fitted. The Fanatec direct drive range currently offers a torque range from 5 Nm to 25 Nm. The CSL product family, which also includes the previous Gran Turismo DD Pro bundle with 8 Nm, marks the entry point here. The ClubSport DD with 12 Nm for €799.99 and the ClubSport DD Plus with 15 Nm for €999.95 now sit in the middle of the spectrum, just below the high-end podium wheelbase DD1 and DD2. 10 to 15 Nm servo motors are the sweet spot in the sim racing market right now, so this wheelbase was highly anticipated, especially since Fanatec claims that the values for their new bases are constant torque and not just peak torque. If you are just looking for a PC wheelbase, the market is pretty crowded these days. For example, Moza R12 and R16, SimMagic Alpha, Azatec La Prima, and there will be more soon. And if you are looking for another PlayStation compatible wheel bundle above 10 Nm, your only other choice right now would be the 11 Nm Logitech G Pro for around $1,000 or €1,100. So much for the categorization and the brief overview of the market. Let's see what's in this box. While the 8 Nm DD Pro wheelbase was a comparatively small, cute cube, the ClubSport DD Plus base is not quite as compact. It has grown considerably in length and width and weighs more than twice as much at 12.64 kilograms. The Fanatec wheelbases have a very unique design finished in die-cast aluminium that follows a function. CSDD and DD Plus have a passive, sophisticated fanless cooling system which contributes significantly to the constant torque performance even during endurance use. The whole bundle and so the wheelbase come with Fanatec's new quick-release standard, QR2. The base side of the ClubSport DD and ClubSport DD Plus uses a so-called Type F base side QR2, which embeds the electronics in the shaft and is therefore more stable. Keep in mind that it is also possible to downgrade to a QR1 wheel side in case you want to make your collection of QR1 equipped wheels work. Mounting on your Simrix plate is via T-nut sliders on the underside, allowing for some flexibility in positioning. It's very convenient. The base is not suitable for front mounting. The front screw points are only for accessories such as dashboards. All connections for power, USB, shifters, pedals or emergency stops are on the back, and there is also a CAN connection for future Fanatec products. If you don't want to lose the connection to us and our future videos, we would be very happy if you would subscribe to our channel and hit that bell as well. It's also free. At first glance, the steering wheel looks like the first version from 2021, but the quality and level of detail has been improved. This was also designed in collaboration between Fanatec and the Gran Turismo developers at Polyphony Digital, and from a design perspective I would say it is based on a sporty or sports or GT car. So it's circular with the out-of-flat bottom or yoke style cutoff and is wrapped in what's described as premium vegan leather. If the entry-level DD Pro wheel sometimes felt like grabbing hold of some plimsolls, then this is like a Hyundai N or a Ford ST wheel by comparison, with a 300mm diameter rim and a slight squash upon gripping the wheel that we felt exuded automotive grade quality. It fits the theme very well as you drive a lot of street cars in Gran Turismo, but it still adds a lot of racing elements you can also utilize for PC sim racing. Around the rear there are 4 pedals. 2 are magnetic for gear shifts and the lower 2 are used as analog clutches or even as the brake and throttle should pedals not be connected. We think the aluminium pedal plates and satisfying magnetic shift action are night and day different to the plastic items on the existing Gran Turismo wheel. Less of a toy, more of a sim racing product. We can see the clutch pedals being ideal for those on PC who will want to use these for the latest Assetto Corsa mod or iRacing, for example, but currently there's no way of using these to find your bite point within Gran Turismo 7, as the option within the control setup does not exist yet in the game. On its face there are 19 RGB LEDs, which in our testing on Gran Turismo 7 were illumined in white, with game developers having the option to customize these in the future. For those on PC, they can be adjusted from the get-go through the FanaLab software. Speaking of developer input, there is now a 2.7-inch OLED display which you can cycle through various telemetry readouts. Fanatec calls the system ITM, Intelligent Telemetry Mode, previously used at the podium button module. Well, in Gran Turismo 7 at present, it just displays your speed, but the hope is that platform creators can adapt this to match their specific game's information. Here's a little showcase of what it could look like using ACC on PC. You can also access the tuning menu to adjust, for example, force feedback strength or the rotation up to 2520 degrees on the fly. A key element is the 7-way funky switch at the bottom left of the wheel, which can also act as a rotary encoder. When tested, it allowed us to quickly dial down settings such as traction control or bike bias on the fly in Gran Turismo 7. Some experts may have noticed that the wheel comes with a QR2 light wheel side adapter. According to the Fanatec website, this is only rated for 8 Nm, but quote, the QR2 Lite wheel side features a pin that causes certain steering wheels to be torque limited on the ClubSport DD and Podium DD bases, matching the behavior of the QR1 Lite wheel side. However, the QR2 Lite wheel side is far stronger than the QR1 Lite wheel side and was designed in parallel with the Gran Turismo DD Extreme wheel. This means that this wheel does not have a torque limit with the QR2 Lite wheel side and therefore operates at the full 15 Nm of torque. This is interesting to say the least. Now that we have mounted everything, it is also advisable to connect it to a Windows PC or laptop first, even if you intend to use it on PlayStation, as this is the only way to update the firmware through the Fanatec control panel software. The FanaLab software is also available there on PC and gives you easier access to customizing your game profiles, setting up fine-tuning and also configuring the LEDs as mentioned before. So let's get on track and find out what this wheel really feels like. Let's start with the PC impression, followed by a surprising revelation in GT7. It has been my daily driver for the last few weeks and has replaced the Moza R9 I used before. The biggest update for me as a main PC and occasional GT7 racer is that the annoying back and forth swap to another wheelbase, for example the PXN tested last year or my trusty Thrustmaster T300, is finally a thing of the past. For my use case and demands in terms of power, there's almost no way around the DD+. And the second big step up is the increased torque of the motor. On my Moza R9 that made me very happy otherwise, for example, I had to crank up the in-game force settings quite a bit to feel the steering and effects properly, which often led to clipping, which is not something you want to have happen because you can miss important information through the wheel. An R12 or R16 would also fix that problem, but without being PlayStation compatible, which was the deciding factor here then to keep the DD+. This also solved the torque situation. I was usually around 8 to 12 Nm, which was more than enough for most use cases for a natural steering feel. The crazy Simocube and Azatec Invicta wheelbases with 25 Nm and more I have tested so far felt fantastic and are the choice if you are really serious about racing, also for example in IndyCar with realistic forces. But in terms of smoothness, driving feel and being constant also when being used for several hours, the DD Plus is not far off for most use cases. Something that will be added later is the new Full Force protocol. Logitech already has implemented something similar and called it True Force. Full Force will also allow lower latency and much finer effects calculated at 16,000 Hz. The data points and effects used for this can be very individual for each sim racing title or game. Fanatec is dependent on developers to integrate that on their end. So far we only tested the demo of this in iRacing at last year's Sim Racing Expo. Polyphony has yet to implement this in GT7. The slider for the strength of the full force effect already exists in the wheelbase tuning settings, so you will be able to turn it off as well. As soon as this is implemented somewhere, we will test it in detail. Still, it was supposed to be a major feature of this wheel, also according to the marketing. This not being available at launch unfortunately continues the story of delays and perhaps premature communication, same with the ITM not working in Gran Turismo yet. What I can say is that I had no issues with the feel, setup or anything else with this product. It always felt strong and detailed, and compatibility with my most used titles was given. iRacing, AC, ACC, AMS2, EA Sports WRC, Dirt Rally 2.0 and even older titles all worked without a problem thanks to the Fanatec SDK support. FanaLab also has a lot of presets and recommendations to begin with, offering detailed settings for advanced users to further fine-tune. I think this app looks and feels kinda outdated in 2024, but it does the job. I used the wheelbase in combination with ClubSport wheel-free pedals, a Moser HPP handbrake and the Fanatec ClubSport shifter. My go-to wheel add-on at the moment is the podium module with the Porsche wheel, also when racing GT7. Speaking of GT7, this wheelbase changes a lot. For me, even when casually testing the previous 8 Nm wheel or the Thrustmaster TGT2, it never felt serious. The DD Plus takes it to another level. The cars are much more responsive, it is just more authentic and adds a ton of immersion, making this by far the best console racing experience I have ever had. It changes the game literally. A full disclosure, I have not tested the Logitech G Pro with GT7, but I have heard good things about this wheel as well. The race cars in particular are very sharp and a joy to steer into corners or over curbs. The presence of more force helps to create muscle memory, and this is a crucial thing for consistent racing. Verdict: I have really enjoyed racing various titles with this wheelbase over the past few weeks. It is certainly not a low-priced product, and Fanatec really needs to work on their deliveries, timing, customer service and communication. But once you get your hands on this product, at least for me, it is a great experience. The vibrant Fanatec ecosystem to further expand even adds to that. Yet at the end of the review on the day of the wheel's release, there's still no Gran Turismo 7 update for the correct button mapping, and the wheel is missing from the official Fanatec recommendations and support websites. So let us hope that the negative aspects I just mentioned are a thing of the past when you watch this video in a few months or a year from now. If you have anything to add or questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you have less money to spend, here is a review of a much cheaper entry-level direct drive bundle. Thank you for watching, see you next time.